Welcome to Korg Pro Sessions. This is Paul Gilbert, and thank you for watching. Today I'm going to demonstrate some of the things that you can do with your Korg TM-40 metronome. Today I'm going to use a metronome which is really going to help me, and you as well, play better, faster, and most importantly, in time. The goal of this exercise is to keep a consistent rhythm going, and this is the rhythm. It goes da 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 ba 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 ba. I'm just going to scratch it out, so you can remember that. It's an easy rhythm, and I'm going to do the scratching part for the first two little bits, the ba da 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 da, and then the last four notes, ba 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 ba. I'm going to improvise something in the key of A minor pentatonic. Even if you're a beginner, you probably know this scale. It's the first scale that almost all guitar players learn, and a lot of guitar players, including myself, our goal is we want to play this as fast as possible up and down, but today that is not the goal. Today I want to play it as cool as possible by picking the best notes, and I'm going to pick any four notes to end this phrase. So for example, I begin with a bend, then three notes, total of four notes. So here we go. That's one example. So let's try this with the Korg TM-40 metronome. Let it roll. There we go. There we go. So you can look for variations. You can start by learning those. And if that gets too boring or simple, take the first scratches and replace that with notes. You could go like, or so I hope that you can hear that the rhythm is the same. I'm changing the notes, but it's always ba-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da, ba-ba-ba-ba. So let's try that second example where we replace the scratches with notes with the Korg metronome. Here we go. So you can do that all day, coming up with variations, and this is so useful for your phrasing, because anytime that you do a solo, whether it's fast or slow or whatever, you eventually have to end it, and this is a good way to end by going what da da da, and there's your end. The next thing that I want to show you also uses the A minor pentatonic scale that everybody knows, but I'm also going to use the position right below it, which looks like this. That's a pretty familiar one too. You probably know that one already. So what I want to do is I want to insert an interesting rhythm. So we're not just playing the scale up and down, but we're doing a cool phrase. In this case, the phrase I'm going to pick is a gallop. That kind of sound. And this is the way I'm going to insert it in the scale. I'm going to use three notes out of each position, starting on a higher note each time. When I get to the top, I'm going to do a small improvised something, some kind of lick, and I'm going to try to keep it in time. I really like that part of the metronome as well, not just working on building technique, but also working on your improvising. So I'm going to always start it the same, like 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'll try to do a phrase at the end to work on my improvising. So let's try it with the metronome. We'll see how it goes. 1, 2, 3. Fun. So the metronome can really help you show where the beats are, and you can play in between them. So, and let's crank it up a little bit. I think I've got this down. 1, 2, 3. So the last thing I'm going to show you today with the Korg metronome is something I've been working on recently. This is from my brand new record, which is called Silence Followed by a Deafening Roar. And the first thing that I do to prepare for my records, at least over the last few years, is I try to learn a classical piece, a classical piano piece, and I learn the notes that the piano player plays, and I put them on guitar. And this is a challenge. You know, it doesn't always work easily, so I have to use a variety of techniques to make this happen, and the metronome really helps me put all these techniques together and make them work. This example I'm going to play has, you know, common things like pull-offs and picking, but it also has some sweep picking, little bits of that, string skipping, a lot of things that I had to do in order to get these notes that Johann Sebastian Bach played 300 years ago. So let me just play it without the metronome first so you can hear the notes. Something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a good bit to start with. And as you can see, let's focus in on my right hand for a second, because I'm doing so many different techniques. I'm doing some things where I just sort of trigger the hammer-ons and pull-offs. But like right there, I actually do 3 notes in a row with one finger. So to make that the same kind of tempo as that's the sort of thing that's really good to work on repetitively with the metronome to make sure that transition's smooth. Then right there, that's a small sweep pick lick where I do 3 upstrokes. So, you know, all these different techniques have to be the same tempo, and you've got to have a good dynamics with it. Then a big position shift. Slide. Another position shift, and then you got to switch. That's one of the hardest things, is to go between 2 strings on the same fret with one finger without having them ring. You know, so I gotta really develop that technique too. And it ends with a sweep pick. And I actually try to use as many different fingers as possible for that, so the notes don't ring into each other. So those are the details, and I'm going to work it out by playing it very slowly with a metronome, and I'm really going to concentrate on trying to keep the tempo even. So let's get the metronome rolling, and I'll give it a try. Yeah. And now, having spent days practicing with the metronome, we get to speed it up and bask in the glory of speed. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Thank you so much for watching my guitar ideas today. Once again, this is Paul Gilbert, and please check out my brand new album, which is called Silence Followed by a Deafening Roar. And keep on playing your guitar. I hope you got some inspiration from my ideas, and keep on playing with your Korg metronome. Not only because it sounds good and helps you play in time, but also because look at this little thing. You see the little wand that goes back and forth? That really is helpful, believe it or not, because not only can you hear the time, but you can see the time. So that having been said, thank you once again. I'll play a little electric guitar to say goodbye to you. Thank you.